Hey everybody, it's Lon.TV, and you might have heard of a company called TEMU that advertised on the Super Bowl here in the US, and basically they sell a lot of cheap stuff, and I signed up for their affiliate program just to see what it was about, and they sent me $100 worth of stuff to review. So what I thought I would do in this video is unbox everything that you can get for $100 at TEMU and see exactly what it's all about. And there's actually a good amount of stuff in here that I was able to get under the budget there, which is great. Now, I do want to let you know, in the interest of full disclosure, this $100 worth of cheap stuff was sent to us free of charge by TEMU. They also wanted to review this video before it was uploaded. I'm not doing that, so I'm posting this up without any prior review. All the opinions you're about to hear are my own. No one is paying for this video, nor is anyone reviewing or approving it before it gets uploaded. So let's get into it now and see what's in this box of stuff that came in from TEMU. All right, so let's take the first item out of the bag, and they actually did get quite a bit here from them. So this first item, oh, look at this. This is actually an interesting one to start with. This is an auto face tracking selfie stick tripod. And I forgot what the cost was. This was maybe one of the more expensive items. I think it was in like the $25 or $30 range. But apparently what this will do is track my face with my phone. So let's see what's in the box here. So we have a little base to put it on. And we have the tracker. All right. That's what that looks like. And it looks like there's a, so there's a setting here for standing and sitting. Although the sitting doesn't seem to work, so I guess maybe it's just standing is pushed in and sitting is the default position. USB-C cord and a very, very short, or a plug, but a very short USB cord that goes with it. So let me get this plugged in and let's see if it works. All right, so we got it out of the box and plugged in. Now what's cool about this thing is that it doesn't require an app. It actually uses a camera here on the front to track movement, and as you can see, it is following me around here pretty good. It's not the smoothest motion you'll ever see, but I could see this being useful if you're doing like a conference call or something. It can follow you around with whatever camera's in there. What I've got here on a 2-up view is a view of what you're seeing here through my phone as I move around, and it's doing a pretty good job of tracking me here. The price on this is $20, which isn't bad, I think, for what it's doing. Working pretty good, and my iPhone stabilizer is pretty sufficient here for keeping everything stable. There is a battery on board, so if I unplug the cable here, it'll still go. So you know what? For $20, not bad. There is a tripod mount at the bottom, so you could hook it up to a tripod if you want. And all in, I think there's some value here. So not bad for our first one. One other note on this, it does have some adjustability here of the phone clamp, and it will also go landscape and portrait. So now let's get another thing out of the bag. All right, next up, what did I get here? Oh yeah, this is a 75 feet of Ethernet cable. This is flat cable Cat 6. So maybe a little later I will run this through my network switch and see if it can handle a 10 gig connection, but it looks pretty good. It's got some nice protectors here on the connectors, so got to be careful pulling those off so I don't snag it. Let's pull that off real quick. So yeah, it looks like a pretty good Cat 6 connection here, and it's flat cable, which I like because I can get a good distance out of this or tuck it behind the carpet or whatever. So there you go, 75 feet of Ethernet cable. And by the way, the cable here was $8.48 for 75 feet. Probably good enough for entertainment. I probably wouldn't run your business off of it, but there you go. Pretty cheap for a good bunch of Ethernet cable. So that is that. Next item here is a 1080p webcam, and this one was a couple of bucks. I'll look up the price here in a second, but let's see what you get in the box. You got your webcam and a little tripod mount here at the bottom, and of course this will attach quite nicely to a computer monitor. Not a lot of cable length here, but enough. And it says it is 1080p. So I'm going to plug this in now, and let's take a look and see how it looks. All right, so this is the image out of the camera. It is 1080p. By the way, the camera is $11.48. Not bad. There is a focus adjustment on it, which I'll show you in a second when I take it off my computer here. The problem, though, is the microphone sounds terrible. Have a listen to this. This is the audio out of the camera. It sounds like I'm in a bucket, as Bryant Mitchell on my live stream just explained. So I don't think you're going to be using this for your webcam conference call, at least as the microphone. Now, when I first hooked it up, it was very blurry, so you do need to adjust this focus ring here to get the image sharp. So if it looks really blurry when you first plug it in, just turn the dial here. Unfortunately, the audio sounds blurry, but you can't fix that. But this will get your image in a much sharper state. All right, next one is the Sports HD DV camera. I don't know. This is $7.18. This claims to be a mini sports camera, maybe inspired by that little GoPro from a number of years back. I don't know. Oh my gosh, it is tiny. Look at this thing. Oh, the sticker's coming off. This is supposed to be a decorative sticker, but it was peeling off the minute I opened it up. Somehow they managed to fit an SD card in this thing, although I can't get it out. So I will mess with that. Yeah, that's what it's looking like here. There is is that an HDMI output on it? It looks like it might have an HDMI output. So let me get this thing hooked up and let's see how it looks. All right, after playing with this thing for a few minutes, I think this might be the dud of the products we've received so far. I can't figure out how to get it to work. I think it needs to charge up for a little bit of time before it gets going, but it looks like a real piece of junk here, as you can see. I did plug it into my computer. I wrongly said that this was an HDMI port. It's actually a USB port, but it's not a micro USB. It's kind of a proprietary thing. Some folks watching my stream said it was something similar to what you might see on an Olympus camera. The other end of the cable that they give you is USB, and it sort of functions like a webcam, but it's giving you like 5 frames per second. So I'll play around with this a little bit more. If I'm able to get it to do something, I will do a follow-up video, but I would say if you're out shopping on the website here, do not get the Mini DV SQ11. This one is definitely a dud, but maybe something else will be better. So what do we got here? Oh yes, these are the Think Plus ear pods, and these actually are Lenovo branded, so I don't know if this is like Lenovo in China's brand, but these were very inexpensive for a Lenovo product. They look a lot like AirPods. I think they're selling these for about $11. There's a couple of different versions. I got the one that looked more like my AirPods. I don't like in-ear earbuds. I like the ones that sit, on the ear kind of thing. Like the non-in-ear ones basically is my preference. But here you go. Again, $11, give or take. And it's got that cheap interior packaging here. And we've got a USB-C cable for charging. And the earbuds, actually a lot smaller than an AirPod case. And they actually look a lot like AirPods. And these, of course, are Bluetooth. So let me pair them up with my computer real quick, or phone, and I will let you know how they sound. So apparently these are a Chinese market product. I think they might be legitimate Lenovo headphones. They are very comfortable. In fact, it feels in my ear just as nice as my AirPods do. They fit firmly but not uncomfortably. There is a capacitive button on these. Might be hard to see on camera. I'll do my best here. There is a capacitive button that you can use for controls. And pairing it up with my phone or computer was really easy. These are just Bluetooth headphones. And what you do is just put the headphones in here and open up the lid, and it puts it into pairing mode. So it was actually really simple to get it together, very well built. Unfortunately, though, the sound is not good out of them. It's not awful, but certainly the AirPods have a much better audio quality out of them than these do. So it's a little muffled sounding. It does have a good amount of bass, but not a lot. But the mids and upper frequency sounds do not sound as crisp and clear. So a little muddied is the best way to describe how these sound here. But for the money, not a bad deal. If you like the idea of an AirPod-like headphone that has its own charging case here, and you don't really care that much about audio quality, I think for podcasts and stuff, these will do fine. Definitely not a bad price for the $11 or so that these sell for on TEMU. All right, here's the next one. This is $3.28. It is a card reader for Lightning-equipped iPhones, which is all the iPhones right now, and some of the iPads. And let me just get it out of the packaging here. And this is an SD card reader. So I've got a couple of SD cards in my case here that will load up. Really tiny, as you can see, but it plugs right into your iPhone. So let me take out my iPhone and an SD card, and let's see if it can read a card. All right, so let's see how this thing works. Again, just a lightning connector, and it's got a built-in card reader. So I'm going to put in a 64 gig card, and I'm going to connect it to my phone. And what should happen here inside the Files app is that, yep, there it is. It should mount the card, which it did. And I've got some GoPro videos on here that I should be able to play, maybe. Let's see. Yep, there we go. Yeah, so this is from the trip that we took to New York City a little while ago. Here's some stuff from the fire department. Although it looks like, oh, these are images. There we go. Here's the videos. Let's try playing one of these videos here. Yeah, seems to work. And it's got a light here on the bottom. So not bad for under $4. All right, this next item, $8. This is the K35 wireless microphone. And there's a couple different versions of this. They've got like a USB one. It looks like I went with the regular 1/8 inch connector there. So plug and play, 20 meters of accessible reception. Oh wait, there's 2 of them in the box. Look at that. And here they are, little clip-on lavalier mics with a wireless transmitter on them. And a USB-C connector, I'm assuming for charging. And then here is the reception unit. So we'll plug this into my video system here in a second, just to get it all going. And here is the second microphone. Wow. Yeah, this might, actually, you know what, this one was, I'm sorry, wrong. This one is $42, but they do have one for $8 that plugs into the phone. So this one is apparently selling for $42, but still not a bad deal. And then in here, so this one was like a bulk of my $100 purchase here. I didn't realize I spent that much. I was trying to keep everything pretty low. And then you've got, so they have 3 components that need to be charged and only a cable for one of them. So you'll need to get a few more cables. But let me plug in the receiver to my video system here, and let's see how it sounds. All right, so I got the K35 microphone plugged into my production system here. And it seems like it's working okay. It doesn't sound too bad either. I did have to boost the gain up. I might have to do a little bit more in post-production here to get it to the level I need it at. You can see where I've got it held up to right now. If I put it down lower, you can see what it sounds like down here. So I think the one thing you'll have to adjust is the gain to get the audio to a good level. But it seems like it's okay. And there are 2 mics here that will pair up with it. So this is the most expensive part of this shopping haul here at around $42 or so. I thought I paid less than this, but it looks like that's what it's selling for now. But they do have much less expensive ones that plug into phones that are single mic units. All right, this next item has a couple of different versions, but it's all around $8 to $10. This is a fake Apple Pencil, but apparently it's compatible with the Apple Pencil. And the compatibility is with the iPad Air 4th generation, along with the iPad Pros. And I would imagine this would work with the newer iPad Minis. So anything I think that works with the 2nd gen Pencil should work with this much less expensive device. They claim that it's got a tilt pressure sensor on it also, but I don't know if it's going to detect actual pressure. But we'll see what happens here. We've got a USB-C charging cable. There is an extra little tip in the box here. And again, about $8 to $10. It feels about $8 to $10 worth of pencil here. There's a little gasket on the charging cable here. And I'm not quite sure how to turn it on, but I will figure that out. And what I'm going to do is pair it up with my iPad Pro 11 and see if it works. Stand by. All right, one correction here. It actually supports more models than I thought. So on the instruction manual here, it is the iPad 6th generation, 7, 8 mini, Air, and the iPad Pros. Again, $7 or $8. So I think if you have one that works with that Logitech pen, which is compatible, this one should be too. It didn't require anything special. There's a button here at the top to turn it on. And once I got it close to my iPad here, it started working, and it appears to work pretty much the same as my Apple Pencil does. Maybe it's detecting the pen a little closer to the screen than the Pencil typically, but I've got my wrist here resting on it, and everything is good so far. It doesn't do pressure sensitivity. So let me put the brush up here. So if I push down harder, I'm not getting any difference in the line here. But apparently it does do the tilt. So you get the tilt and the writing, but not the pressure. So it's probably not going to be a good Apple Pencil alternative for drawing if you need to do varying degrees of pressure. But it's got the tilt sensor in it, and it seems like it works pretty good here for the money. They say you get about 10 hours on a charge. I would probably plug it in when you're not using it, but overall, not a bad deal here. This, again, is only for those compatible iPads, but it's certainly a lot less expensive than buying a real Apple Pencil. All right, the next item here is about $5 or $6. This is a mouse with a backlight, so that's interesting. Oh, it's pink. I know I got this one for my daughter because she likes everything and anything pink. But, you know, it's a mouse. It's got like a rubberized coating on it. It's not wireless. It is just a standard USB mouse here. But it does have a DPI button in the middle, along with a scroll wheel. It is an optical mouse, as you can see. So let me plug this into my Mac real quick and see how it works. All right, I turned the studio lights off here so you can see what the lights look like on this. It is pulsing. I can't find a way to change the color of the light or turn it off, but as you can see, it lights up the logo here in the back and then the lights here on the side. I found that when I push the DPI button that the light here indicates the status of the DPI as I move it around. And this one is really annoying. It just flashes at you constantly. And this is the lowest setting. So there does not appear to be a way to really adjust this lighting. I could see this being rather annoying for some folks. But it is tracking pretty well here on my Mac, and the DPI setting does give you some sensitivity adjustments here if you can handle the blinking light all the time. But yeah, not bad for a cheap mouse, but I would probably prefer one that is not lit, and maybe that could cost less money. All right, this next one I think costs about $13 or so, and it's a smartwatch. How about that? It looks pretty fancy, although I don't think it's going to be all that fancy when I take it out of this box here. But let's see as we open it up here. This is the last item that I got, but I forgot what I had ordered, so this was all kind of a surprise to me too, and, you know, not bad so far. All right, well, here we go. It is charged with what looks like a puck charger, but it's got pogo pins on it, so it's not a wireless charger necessarily. And it is USB, of course. You don't want to lose this. And I did not know what band I was getting in the box here, but it's got a nice metal band. I wonder if this will work with my Apple Watch also. We'll have to see. And I'm not going to have a lot of time to futz with this, but... Oh, it's falling apart already here. But, yeah, pretty classy. Not bad. And then if you weren't sure what this part is, this is the watch part. And we'll peel that off. It looks like it's got some health sensors on here, too, with some plastic we have to peel off. And let's see how we turn this thing on if it's charged. There's only one button, it appears, on the side. Let me hold this down and see if we get anything. This might need to be charged. Oh, there it goes. This is called the Fit Pro Watch. And there you go. I don't know if the time is correct, but it's got a couple different watch faces here. Let me see if I can pull up, make the screen brighter maybe. Now this connects over Bluetooth to iPhones and to Android phones. So yeah, so it's got some neat little features on it. This will, again, connect up with Bluetooth. You can use it to call people and maybe do some text messaging, but it will rely on your phone's system like Siri or the Android thing to be able to grab the voice recognition. So it's not going to do anything on the unit. So it's basically acting like something that can receive and send text messages, like one of those external devices like your car, and act as a microphone. But it's not going to have all the complete functionality that you would have on a much more expensive smartwatch. But from a build quality standpoint, it feels okay. It doesn't feel as nice as my Apple Watch, of course. I think it's feels like a glass screen, though, so not bad for a couple of bucks here. The screen is not all that bright on camera. It's a little brighter to my eyes. Now, I've just been informed by somebody on my live stream here that maybe this heart rate thing is fake. You can see it blinking here on the bottom, but it doesn't look like it's actually taking a reading. And look at that. Without my arm connected to it, it's giving me a similar number. So apparently these readings, these health readings, are not legit. So the FDA better not find out about this one. Let's see what it gets on the oxygen sensor here. Again, there's no person connected to it. It's not even doing anything. Yeah. So, yeah, the health sensors on this are not one that I would recommend, which is probably why this thing costs less than 20 bucks. So it does keep time, at least it should, but no replacement for an Apple Watch. So I would say this one is a little misleading. The other ones actually were okay. I was surprised things were as good as they were. This is the last item. I got nothing else in here. But for 100 bucks, I think we only had maybe two duds. The watch here, which does have some functionality, and of course that mini camera, but everything else worked pretty good, I think, for what we paid for it. I don't know how long this stuff is going to last for as far as the overall quality in the long term, but short term, overall, not a bad haul here for a little bit of money. Now, this video, again, is not going to be pre-reviewed by TEMU, but if I get more stuff in from them in the future, maybe we'll do another one of these hauls. I was doing this as a live stream, and everyone had a great time with it. And because I can't remember what I did last night, let alone 2 weeks ago, I forgot what I had ordered, so it was kind of a surprise to me what was in this bag as well. That's what happens when you hit my ripe old age of 46. That's going to do it for now. Until next time, this is Lon.TV. Thanks for watching.
This channel is brought to you by the Lon.TV supporters, including gold level supporters Brian Parker, Chris Allegretta, Hot Sauce and Video Games, Logic KGR, Tom Albrecht, and Am de Brown. If you want to help the channel, you can by contributing as little as $1 a month. Head over to lon.tv/support to learn more. And don't forget to subscribe. Visit lon.tv/s.